frankly, my honest opinion is it's a bit of sleight of hand on behalf of the government. So by far the best way to protect and restore biodiversity is just to not destroy it in the first place if you can avoid it. It doesn't mean that on occasions projects don't justify harm, that they aren't sufficiently important that harm is necessary and unavoidable, an unavoidable necessity. But it's the existing hierarchy sets out this very clear framework. But I think the government's never really accepted that. Through all the debates as the Planning and Infrastructure Bill has progressed through Parliament, it's been very, very resistant to the notion that the mitigation hierarchy should apply to EDPs in any way. So I think, to be honest, this is a bit of sleight of hand, because Baroness Parminter withdrew her proposed amendment 148, which would have sought regulations that would have embedded the mitigation hierarchy into EDPs, on the grounds that the government promised to do something itself. And what's actually been put forward is this suggestion that there would be appropriate prioritisation, which could mean anything. In its best form, it would be the mitigation hierarchy. That's the tried and tested. That's the tried and tested way of doing this.
Here's one I made earlier.
Well, exactly. There's no real reason why that couldn't have applied. It doesn't, as I say, it doesn't absolutely require the avoidance of harm in the situations where it's unfeasible, unrealistic, too expensive. It just means that you should look. It's quite purely and simply that you should check that there are no reasonable opportunities to avoid the harm before you cause the harm. So, but at its worst, of course, the regulations could fudge it in any way to enable it to always do what's cheapest. For example, rather than have to engage in a little bit more expense to avoid harm that on the face of it might be wholly avoidable. So, frankly, my honest opinion is it's a bit of sleight of hand on behalf of the government.